when there's a link, it's the text that you see on the page. That's the anchor text. So there, in this example, it's clubs and societies. So have a look at and there are tools. Open Site Explorer is a free.org is a free tool that you can use for analysing number one, what sites are linking to your competitors. Number two, what anchor text they are using to. So if they say, go to this company for gift hampers, then they are saying that company is the one I'm recommending for gift hampers, and that's the way Google reads it. So it's very important that you look at that as well. And that can also give you a clue of what are the lucrative keywords in the industry you're in.
Sorry, what's the name of that site again?
OpenSiteExplorer.org. You'll recall a minute ago I said be careful with keyword tools. This is Google's own keyword tool from AdWords. And you see over the left there the broad match and exact match. And you can see down here the difference. The top one is broad match and the bottom one is exact match. The 91 is there is Google's estimate. So local searches and global searches then, so you can see geographical comparisons as well. You can see Ireland selected there. That's their estimate of how many people search every month for the exact phrase gift hampers, whereas the broad match could be anything that's closely related to gift hampers, so it mightn't necessarily be the bullseye for you. So it's better to expand the list and look at exact match than look at broad match, because it could set you down the wrong path. Because you can see the numbers are quite different. There aren't 1,300 people searching for gift hampers as a phrase on its own. There are 91, or that's Google's estimate. Who knows exactly how accurate that is, they don't tell us. The key thing is, when you have mapped your keywords, or chosen your keywords, it's very important that before you do anything to your website, and this is critical, before you do anything to your website, you sit down with a spreadsheet and you map the pages that you want to rank your keywords. If some are ranking already for those keywords, ranking well already, that's the one you choose because that's the best opportunity to keep it there. But you have to do this phase. You have to map it out. Too many sites are trying to squeeze everything into the homepage. You need to, and this is just a sample, you need to do a spread. We would recommend at most 4 phrases per page. Your implementation, this becomes a guide or a roadmap that you have to keep in mind throughout the implementation, because you need to ensure that Google knows which pages you want to rank. If you're saying this is the most important page for a particular keyword on my site, you need to be consistent in that, and you need to be telling Google through the structures of your implementation about that. Just mentioning AdWords again, anyone can advertise in AdWords at a cost, but it's a very good way of figuring out what keywords. So while it's separate SEO, and I'm not talking about AdWords today, it is a good tool for guessing or for estimating what and identifying what keywords work and what people are searching for. Looking then into the implementation, that splits into 2. There's the on-site and technical, and that's the stuff that you can do on your own website, and that's in some ways the easy part once you know what you're doing and you follow instructions. Then there's the off-site bit, which is a bit more involved. The on-site optimization. The meta title is the title tag on the website is the most critical element for search engine relevance. It's what Google reads as the number 1 indicator of what a page is about from your website. So if you have a page about blue widgets and you don't mention blue widgets in your title tag, then you're telling Google it's not really about blue widgets, it's about whatever is in my title tag. The meta title needs to summarize what a page is about in a simple way for visitors as well, though. So it's not just about stuff. You see a lot of sites that will just stuff it with keywords, hotels, Cork, hotels in Cork, Cork hotels. You'll see that, but that looks terrible when a user comes because, so you need to strike a balance between SEO and the user experience. Meta titles are encountered in 2 ways by users. One is that it's what's used in the title, that the blue part. When you go to Google and you see a search result, that's the meta title. It's also there. It's also up there at the top of the browser. not everyone sees that, but at the same time, you don't want it looking stupid. This is the more important one, because if that looks spammy or looks like it's just a list of keywords, while you might rank, the chance of people clicking through, which is the ultimate goal, are reduced. Meta descriptions, they're a very minor ranking factor, if any. Now, everything else being equal, they do have an influence, but they're probably the last on the list of ranking factors. But they're an important part of the meta code on your page because they are what Google show there in most cases. Not every case, but in most cases, they are what Google show there. So again, it's an opportunity for you to put a message there that encourages a user to click through. So, you know, it is important that you get on page one, but it's also important that you encourage users to click through. So that is a factor as well. The next thing on the page is keyword-rich landing page content. You have to mention your product. You know, if you've decided I want this page to rank for a certain keyword, you have to mention it on the page. If you keep it a secret, Google won't rank it. The next thing then is signposting. And what I mean by signposting is internal links. So you might have decided that 5 pages are the ones strategically I want to rank, but your site might have 50 pages. You can use those other 45 pages to signpost Google and tell it that page X is the primary page for a certain keyword. And you can also use so that's internal links on those 45 other pages. You can use the sitemap to signpost Google. Anchor text, as I said, is another one. So if the keyword is specific to a page and you're linking to that page, use the anchor text. And you can also expand your content with casual content like blogs, press releases, etc. on your site that give you an opportunity again to link on a page, say this is the page for this keyword. So if you have that opportunity to expand, you're increasing footprint to your site as well, but at the same time signposting back to what are your 5, say, strategic pages. Another important thing is don't spam it, don't over-optimize. Google's always on the lookout for people trying to game it, trying to fool them. So over-optimization can be an issue as much as under-optimization. And Google will, you know, if you overdo it, Google will penalise you. What we say to people there is mix it up. Don't just put, you know, the exact phrase, do a slightly different phrase, etc. when you're linking back to pages, so that it's not the same thing all the time, because that says to Google that these people are up to something, or not up to something, but, you know, trying too hard to be recognised as an authority on a specific topic. The way internal links work is, you know, you basically can use, so say in this example, the top 3 pages there, 2 home pages, 2 category pages are your 3 strategic pages. You're using the pages below those to link to them and point to them, and every time Google crawls through your site, it ends up back at those pages, you know, no matter where it goes. So it's increasing the rank of those pages internally on the site. The next thing is off-site optimization, and this is the critical part. As I said, the previous bit, because you control the website and someone else controls the website, there's nothing, if you optimize a site for a particular keyword, there's nothing to stop them from optimizing it theirs for the same keyword. And therefore, how does Google distinguish them between the 2 sites? Why would it rank this site higher than this site? And the key to that is links. Okay, you need to influence Google through links, and link building is the blood of search engine strategy. Larry Page, the co-founder of Google, originally said the perfect search engine would understand exactly what you mean and give back exactly what you want. So therefore, his key elements were relevance and trust. He wanted the site he returned to you to be relevant to your search, but he also wanted it to be trustworthy. And they're the 2 measures that Google use to decide on how to rank a site. How do they decide what is most relevant? And that's what they do. It's SEO is about having relevant content, easily found, and getting it recognized as something by Google. And it's how do they recognize that? The first 2 are the parts you control: search engine friendly structure and interesting and relevant content. The third is trust and authority. So you must establish your site as an authority, or the page you decided that is the page I want ranking for a certain topic, you must establish that in Google's eyes as an authority site or an authority page on that topic. Context helps Google rank your site. Google picks up clues from around the internet. So the way Google works is it sends out its crawlers and they literally start through websites, jump from one website to the next as they find links, and that's how they do it. They call it a spider, and it's called the World Wide Web, and there's a reason for that. That's the way it works. They just crawl through links, and and if they keep going back to the same site all the time, then that site is seen as someone is telling me something about this. The clues help Google decide what site is more relevant. The clues, links are what they use as the clues, and what they would call them and have often referred to them as is votes. Because if one site links to another, it's assuming that the webmaster of site A that linked to site B linked for a reason, and that they believe that there is trust in that website. And so links are a critical part, but it's not just links; it's quality as well. So there's a hierarchy of links. A link from the CIA website will be worth more than a link from my site, obviously. So, assuming you've built your site, you've got your on-site optimization done, you then have said, right, I need links so that I can get my site ranked higher, show that it has some authority on a topic. Potential sources, family and friends websites. If you know people's websites, ask them to link to it. Another key one is industry-specific websites. So if you're in a particular industry and there's an industry body or something like that you are a member of or that you believe might link to you, get a link from them, because again that's a vote of confidence by them. They will be trusted as an authority in the industry, and if they link to you, it's assumed that there's an editorial decision made to link to you. So therefore, it's passing trust from one side to yours. Complementary and partner sites, depending on what business you're in. I saw a guy from Google once give an example of milk and cookies. If you have a milk site and a cookies, he was American obviously. If you have a milk site and you work with a cookies site, get the cookies site to link to yours, because there's a reason why you might work together. The next one I've been in bold is natural organic links. These are the most important. These are the ones that really Google trusts. Because what they are is people who have no connection with you, because Google can pick up where there are connections as well, linking to you and getting volume of links. And how you go about getting volume of links is by having great content on your website. If you have good content that's informative about a topic that you want to rank for, then people will link to you. They will link to your site when they're talking about it on their blogs, talking about it on their own websites, looking for, citing references, in resource pages when they're putting sites together and listing their sources. They will link to your site.